Hello and welcome back to your mat. My name is Amy. Welcome to your practice. And I'm filming today from Copper Harbor, Michigan, the very tip top of the Upper Peninsula. So we're going to get started today. The props you may or may not need is possibly a block and a strap. Those are both optional. I'm going to use the block for one of the poses. I'm going to skip the strap. I'll show you without the strap. But if you don't have either one of them, that's fine. You can do it without, or if you have both of them, great too. I'll show you both ways. Today we're just going to do a quick posture fix. So we're going to work just mostly here. We're going to focus on the shoulders and the upper back. So we're not going to do anything too crazy, but we're just going to work on the posture. So we're going to get started by standing, and I want you to first start by standing your normal stance. So I don't want you to try to get your posture all perfect. I want you to stand how you normally will. And I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see how my normal stance is. This is about my normal, how I normally stand if I'm not really paying attention to my posture. So I want you to notice that. Just feel where your shoulders are. Feel if your chest is closed in. Again, we're not judging at this point. We're just noticing, because we're going to do this at the end of class if we notice a difference. So just see where you're starting. Starting point. Here's where I'm at right now. And then we're going to move into some stuff here. So you can either stay standing for this next part, or if you have a block, you can come and sit on your block. So either one will do, because we're just going to do some arm variations. That doesn't matter if you're standing or sitting. So I'm going to sit on my block. I've just got the block in between my toes there. So we're going to come here, and we're going to do some stuff to kind of help us open up the chest, because most of us will find our posture, we tend to round in. We need to open up a bit. So we're going to start here in cactus, and I just want you to feel here. So cactus, I've got my elbows about at my shoulder height. And I just want you to open up there. Now what we're trying to do here is when we're opening, we're not trying to do flare out the ribs or flare out the belly or flare out this whole front portion. You're trying to keep that tucked in, your normal stance, but really just open the chest. So we're not adding in the ribs or the abdomen here. So we're going to start there. And these are exercises you can just, these are movement practices or movement poses that you could do any time of day just to kind of help open you up and help reset, give you a quick fix for your posture. None of these are going to fix major posture issues, but they're going to help you start to retrain the body a little bit. So let's just bring the arms out to the sides here. Also can get a little strength in with the arm as a little bonus. And then from here, I just want you to tilt your hands forward a bit, however far you want to come. And you'll notice you'll be able to go fairly far here, with keeping your elbows in line with your shoulders. And then bring your arms back and then tilt them back as far as you can. Again, without flaring out the ribs. You'll notice you may not be able to go as far here, but what you're really noticing is you're strengthening that upper back area. So let's just do a few rounds of that. Because it turns out having that strength is also going to help with the posture. It's going to help us open up the chest, help keep it open. And a lot of times this area is weak on us because of our posture with that rounding forward all the time. So do a couple more rounds this way. Breathing through it. You can do this anywhere. You could stand up at your desk. This is just great anytime you feel like you're really rolling in. If you feel like you're really closing in, you're closing off. And then go ahead and bring your arms up overhead. Stretch them up overhead. Now here's where if you had a strap, I'm going to do it without a strap to show you. But if you have a strap, you're going to go ahead and grab that strap and pull it out in front of you. For those of us who don't have a strap, we're going to pretend we have a strap. So go ahead and grab a hold of your imaginary strap, and you're going to bring your arms up overhead and then back behind you. Now you'll notice my arms are going to open up more, and yours will do the same. And back behind you as far as you can. Now you may find this is enough for you. You're getting a nice pec stretch here, and for a lot of us, that's really tight. So you might be here. You might go all the way back. I have decent range of motion in my shoulders, so I'm able to go further back. But really, you're opening up the whole front chest area. A big component for our posture. So bring your arms back overhead. If you have that strap, you're going to, same thing, you'll just have to loosen up, go further down on the strap as you go further back behind you. But go to your stopping point, so that might be here. Again, trying to keep those ribs in instead of flaring out, or go further back if you like. And from some of you, this may feel like some work because you're not used to doing this. So this is just great to do any time of day to help with some posture. Let's do a couple more rounds coming up and going back. So again, you can use a strap, but if you're in a place you don't have a strap handy, I want to show you that modification without strap. You could also be standing to do all of this. And let's do once more. Feels good just to open it up to the opposite direction we're used to being in all day, especially if you're on a device or you're driving or at a computer. And then shake out the arms. So we've had those arms up for a bit, so we'll let that, shake that out here. Next, we're gonna work on, we're gonna come to all fours. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna isolate the shoulder movement here. So I'll explain here what I mean. So come to all fours. And what you're gonna do, we're not gonna do a traditional cat and cow here, but what you're gonna do is keep that nice neutral spine. And then you're going to dip your chest in or toward the ground and bring in your shoulder blades up. And then you're gonna push the floor away, keeping that neutral spine the best you can. And now your shoulder blades are gonna round on your back without rounding your back. There may be some here, but we're trying to isolate the shoulder blade movement here. So again, dipping that chest down, keeping that neutral spine the best you can, and then pushing it away and rounding on the shoulder blades. So do a few rounds of that. This may feel weird if you've never done this before or you're not used to doing this. So just go the best you can. But you're trying to isolate the movement here in the shoulder blades the best you can without overly rounding or making those cat-cow movements here. So just a few more rounds. This is just something else to kind of help you get used to that movement. And then go ahead and shake that out. And we're gonna come standing. And here, you could sit if you've been standing this whole time, or you could go ahead and stand up. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna roll the shoulders forward, very much like a lot of us spend our day. So just, I want you to, this seems counterintuitive, I want you to see like where a lot of us are a lot of the day. Some of us are more pronounced than this. Roll them forward, and then I want you to roll them back and down. So really roll open those shoulders. Chest is open here. Feel the difference. Roll it forward again, just to remind you of where you are usually at, or a lot of us are usually at, and roll them out. Roll once more forward, and then back. And really notice the difference. Take a breath here. Actually, let's do an experiment here. Go ahead and bring the shoulders forward, and then just take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Now roll the shoulders back, and now take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Did you notice the difference? You may or may not have, but if you open the chest, you're able to breathe better. We're going to come down to a couple more other options here, a couple other things we can do to help really strengthen and open this upper back area. So we're going to come down and do a few rounds of Cobra. Now, when we do Cobra, I really want you to focus here on, first of all, I want your elbows to be as close into your body as possible. And I want you to keep those shoulders on the back here the best you can. So not rolling forward, but back. So bring your forehead to the ground. Inhale and rise yourself up into whatever version of Cobra. It doesn't matter how high you go here. It's more about having those shoulders down on the back and not rolled forward. So you really want to roll them back. Then exhale, come back down. We're going to do that 3 times. Inhale, roll back up again, keeping those shoulders back. Exhale, back down. Again. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale and come up. This is a great back strengthener. It's great for helping with posture. Strengthening is a big part of the posture. Exhale and come back down. Now, you can continue doing that if you like, or you can progress to this next one, which is locust pose. So we're just going to bring the hands down to the sides here. I've got my palms facing down. And what we're going to do is we're just going to rise the chest and head up off the ground, leaving the hands down for now. And then bring it back down. Now, if you want to add the arms, go ahead and lift the arms, chest, and head. Looking out in front of you. For some of you, this is going to feel really challenging because you're not used to being this. This is a strengthening pose for that upper back. Exhale and come back down. And if you'd like, you can add one last option or just stay where you were. And you could add the arms and the legs. So lift arms, legs, chest, head off of the ground into your nice locust pose here. Breathing and keeping those arms behind you. So again, we're not trying to roll the shoulders forward. And then exhale and come back down. Now, I want you to come up for just a moment. And before we stand up and recheck ourselves, and again, this has been a short practice, so don't expect miracles. But if you do this maybe once a day, pick a few of those that you liked, roll your shoulders here for a moment, you will probably notice, or you should probably notice over time, a little bit of improvement in your posture. So now we're going to stand back up. And I want you to stand in your stance now, how you feel. I'm going to turn to the side here, and we'll see, maybe you see a little difference in my posture, but I can already feel that my chest is more open, and I'm feeling even just doing that little bit of practice. So that was your quick little posture fix. I hope that you found that helpful. And if you did, please let me know in the comments, because I plan to do more in this do a series of these where there'll be different parts of the body we'll be focusing on that will help with posture. So if you liked them, let me know. Thanks for joining.